Hello, everyone. Today we are with Carolyn. She's going to tell us who she is and her story, basically. Hi, Carolyn. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Very happy that you are here. So, the first question is, who are you? What is your favorite food? And what are you passionate about right now?
I feel like it could be a complete separate episode just on food because I think we both learned that that's a topic that we really enjoy. But my name is Carolyn. I am in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And favorite food, I love all sorts of food, all different cultures, but I think no matter how full I am, I will always have a spot for my own culture's food, Vietnamese food. So I feel like I have a separate stomach for that. So Vietnamese food. I'm passionate about a lot, but I would say in the realm of maybe this world that we both share, right? Cancer and understanding more about it. I'm specifically interested in the quality of life of people living with cancer, whether you're freshly diagnosed or even like 10, 15, 20 years past it. So, in the world of cancer, that's definitely a topic that I'm very interested in.
And talking about that, how was to have cancer in Canada as a young adult?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed at 28 years old, and I will say that I know that I had it lucky. I was one of the lucky ones. I have amazing family physician. I was treated at Princess Margaret Hospital, so an amazing cancer care center. So my experience was, I mean, wasn't amazing because cancer sucks, right? I know that my experience that I had can be more positive than other people's experiences. So there's a lot of room for opportunity. Even going through my own cancer experience, I was observing, challenges and where there could be improvement.
And do you know many cancer survivors? And how can you describe them in one word?
I know a lot of cancer survivors or people living with cancer. It's not a club that I like to be a part of, but I think it comes with the territory. Meeting a lot of folks like you, right, which is awesome. No regrets. For me, I feel like it depends on what phase of cancer they are in, but I would say that maybe a word to describe them is very human. I think we're really starting to understand our complexities of ourselves. I think something like cancer can catalyze and prompt that. So very, very human.
Yeah, that is a topic that we talked before. That depends when you were diagnosed, right? If you were recently diagnosed or so some years after the diagnosis, like the people is different and maybe they will see the illness a little bit different.
Yeah, for sure. If I rewind and think of, the Carolyn 2 years, 5 years after diagnosis compared to now, very different. I think that I have a more zoomed out, broader understanding. I can no longer center just my own experience. Understandably, when you're 2 or 5 years after, understandably, you're focusing on yourself. That's what you need to do, right? But the years after, I'm 10 years out, right, from my diagnosis. I feel like I can look at things from a more bird's eye view, more broadly. I mean, it's an honor to be here 10 years later, but I can see the perspective shift, and I'm really enjoying myself. It's very different, and I like her.
And can you name other good things that you feel that cancer brought you or even the treatment?
So first off, like treatment sucks. But or maybe and I should say, going through it, I think something that I took away from that, a bit of a like superpower, right, that I have now, even when I'm in the middle of a storm, when things are chaotic, going into different directions, when everyone is like very like panicking, I'm able to stay very calm and collected because of what I have experienced. So I have this knowingness that I have in me that everything is figure outable. I think yeah, my ability to stay calm in even the most stressful and chaotic environments, I think I definitely learned that through my experience.
What is the weirdest thing or a stupid thing that somebody have told you about having cancer or about the treatments?
I remember this one person messaged me and was like, "Hey, I heard you got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. My uncle had that a few years ago and he died from that." And I'm like, "Okay." So that was awkward. And I tried to be mindful of that, like sometimes the word cancer can trigger different things in different people. And I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt that he was just he was looking to connect, even though like something silly came out of his mouth. Right. So that would be it.
What changes would you like to see in your community regarding cancer?
So I'm in Toronto, in Canada. Toronto specifically is known to be one of the most multicultural places in the world, right? With that multiculturalism includes a lot of diversity that is also not connected to culture, right? Different abilities, right? We have a huge immigrant population here. I'm a daughter of immigrants, right? So I think an area of improvement or something that I would like to be seen done better is acknowledging that that is our population and ensuring that when we design care and services and solutions that truly treats people as humans, including some of that multiculturalism, those different abilities. So I am not seeing, even though we pride ourselves over this diversity, right? I don't really see enough of that come through in how we serve and how we care for people. So I'd like to see that done much better.
What is one word that describes you that you were like that before cancer and you are still like that after cancer?
So I think you would have to ask some of the people that know me well, right? Sometimes you have to ask people, that know you pre-cancer and post-cancer to have a clear answer to that. But my guess is maybe the people that know me well, that knew the pre-cancer version of me and then post, might say that I still remain optimistic and positive. I was always this ball of like energy, and there's this lightness to me, right? Even though I experienced, a great deal of darkness, I was still able to maintain this type of sparkly energy. So I still have that, and she's not going anywhere.
I'm curious now that you say this, like, how was your diagnosis?
It was tough, honestly. It was tough. I don't know. I don't think anyone would say it's easy. So I really prioritize taking care of myself. I really prioritize not ignoring how I'm feeling in the moment and giving myself the permission to feel whatever I was feeling without any judgment. Everything is figure outable. I also come from parents who went through some very tough times, like being a refugee, right, from a war torn country. So I always remind myself if they could do that, I can figure this out.
And last question, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Oh, candidly. Okay. So, something that I noticed, going through the experience of my own cancer journey is that the conversations that we need to be having weren't being had, and in a very like casual manner, right? A lot of these conversations, if they were being had, were happening in a very clinical setting, not very comfortable for someone living with cancer, right? I want to be able to talk about some of these important topics like how we're talking about it right now, considering that cancer, I mean, we all know the numbers depending on where you are in the world, right? Here in Canada, it's 2 in 5 people will be diagnosed with cancer at some point in their life, especially because it is so common. It's inevitable, right? And we have amazing people working on prevention and care. Diagnosis seems to be an inevitable event that's going to happen in all of our lives. So we need to get comfortable in having very human, real conversations. We can laugh about the absurdity of things that happen, right? There's room for laughing, there's room for crying, there's room for being upset. So I just wanted to create a very accessible channel and change the approach of conversations a little bit. So that's what Candidly is. I get to talk to people like you, who have the lived experience, and then I get to talk to people who have some professional experiences in working with people who have been impacted by it. So that's Candidly. Stay tuned. Listen in.
And check for the episode that we record together as well. Thank you so much, Carolyn.
Thank you.